Hey, my name is Tim. I'm a writer, but also in my day job, I am a professional marketer. I do digital marketing every day and I've done it for 20 years. So I know how to set up Google ad campaigns. I know how to set up, advertising on social media and all this other kind of stuff. But I know a lot of people have questions about how to set up Amazon ads. So I kind of wanted to make a video about how to do that because Amazon does what's best for Amazon, and that's make money. So I want to do what's best for you, which is how to sell your book without spending thousands or even hundreds of dollars maybe. I just wanted to throw together a quick video, down and dirty, how to set up your campaigns. I think what I'll do after this is run my own campaign for a while, kind of show you guys the results, see how it worked out. But for now, this is really more about how to set up your Amazon ad campaign. Let's get to it. Okay, so to begin with, what you want to do is you can either go into your KDP account in Amazon. You can search, for example, here, Amazon ads. If you do this, it will take you to a little more user-friendly page, but it's going to end up taking you to the same place that I want to show you. You can see you sort of have to click through all this pretty stuff to get to where you want. But if you do a search, for KDP advertising, Kindle Direct Publishing, it takes you to the same place. Again, you log right in, you're good to go. But what you want to do is go to the advertising tab. You can see down here it says KDP Portal Marketing tab. And what you'll do is you'll log in. And when you log in, you come into your Amazon ads. And this is what the screen looks like. It does seem confusing. There's a whole lot going on. But what you're really doing is creating a campaign, and then you're creating ads. And I kind of want to show you down here. I had some ads previously run for my first book back in 2021. Haven't done anything with it since. But what you do is, you probably won't have anything in here, or if you've got something in here, you can start over by creating a new campaign. So what you're going to do is open this up, and you're going to choose whether you're doing sponsored products or sponsored brands. Now, sponsored products is what you're aiming for. Sponsored brands is when you've got several different things going on. You've got a lot of different products. You've got a lot more creative ads. But if you're just promoting one product or maybe two products, in this case, your books, you're going to choose the sponsored products. And looks like I've got an outdated credit card on file. Then the next thing you want to do is choose your ad format. Now, as you can see down here, it's got both of my Amazon books in here. So it already knows what the product is going to be, whether it's going to be my first book or my second book, both books. The ad format, which is choosing custom text or adding in just a standard text where you're not adding anything custom. So you want to go with the custom text ad. And then you want to choose which book you're going to advertise. In this case, maybe I'll just do my ebook version, the Kindle version of my new book, Rise of the Dragon Witch. The first thing that you always have to consider is Amazon's going to do what's best for Amazon to help them make more money. What you want to do is best for you. So they're going to go with automatic targeting automatically. They're going to have that selected up top. They're going to target the keywords. They're going to figure out what's similar to yours, but you want to do your own choosing. So you want to go with manual targeting. And then you can choose under manual targeting either product targeting or keyword targeting. In this case, your best bet is your keyword targeting. Amazon, again, may not know what's best for you, and it may not know what the best things that, keywords that you want to use or what's going to be similar. I always suggest going with keyword targeting. So again, you come down here where it says targeting and it says suggestive bid. Or you can do, and that's where they're going to bid based on where they think you want to be, which again makes them more money. But you want to go with custom bid. Custom bid, again, you can see here it automatically even jumps up to 41 cents. You don't have to do that. You can actually choose 1 cent. It may not show up very much, but you can choose the exact amount. You can choose 99 cents. You can choose $5. because after we enter some keywords, you'll get an idea of what is all possible. And so, yeah, this is just a way to sort of get you started. So we'll just leave that blank for the moment, because everything that you enter at this point on, any keywords that you add will be at 41 cents. And then you can go in and say, let's change them all to, $1. Let's change them all to 25 cents. One thing I will always suggest is, it says here the bid must be 2 cents. If somebody else is doing something similar for a book that's in your same category, they may choose 25 cents. People tend to be very flat and specific. So they may choose 20 cents, they may choose 25 cents, they may choose 50 cents. If you're going to do it, choose 51 cents, 26 cents, 21 cents, because that puts you just above them, but without having to spend a whole lot more, 30 cents or 35 cents or 40 cents. So it's definitely a good idea to just do a penny more. So in this case, let's just say we'll do 26 cents for every keyword we add. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know how many are going to show up. We don't know exactly how it's going to happen. The next thing that you want to do is where it says filter by. This is very important. Your keywords are what people are searching for when they go on to Amazon. So say they go to Amazon to look for the Lord of the Rings book. They want to look for the Lord of the Rings trilogy or something like that. If you typed in the Lord of the Rings as a keyword, the broad match is going to type in anybody who types in something of the something. Amazon may show them your ad for something that has nothing to do with it because they saw this broad match to a keyword that had the words of the. Or say, for example, you wanted to advertise against Red Rising. Any other keyword that somebody else typed in that had the word red in it, they might show your ad. That's the difference between broad, phrase, and exact. Phrase is actually a little better. Phrase might say Red Rising trash can, or a trash can made by Red Rising, or a trash can made by Blue Rising. The phrase is a little more specific, but it's still not the most perfect one. Exact is if somebody types in Red Rising novel, it's going to show your ad because one of your keywords was Red Rising novel, if that makes sense. And even that's still not perfect. Somebody may type in Red Rising and you had Red Rising novel, it may still show your ad. So it's not a guarantee that if you just do exact matches that it will only show that exact word typed in. But what I always recommend doing is most certainly eliminating the broad filter so that you're just adding in keywords for phrase and exact match. That way people aren't seeing your ad if it has nothing to do with it. And that's, I think, where people waste a lot of money because they throw in they copy and paste in a bunch of keywords and they're just broad matches, and it really ends up being terrible for you. So you spend $1,000 in a week because your ad was being shown to everyone, not somebody who is looking for something very similar to what you have to offer. So it does give some suggested keywords. If you look down in through here, it's actually not terrible. And you don't have to add all of these. You can go through and add some of these. They didn't actually used to do the suggested keywords before, but they're basing it on your keywords that you chose in KDP when you set your book up for the very first time. So if you like it, you see how now down here, the filter is showing broad, phrase, and exact for Lit RPG. It's showing broad, phrase, and exact for Helen Scher, whoever that is, not sure. For light novel, which is a terrible, terrible keyword. And it gives you a good suggested range of what you'd have to spend to be, near the top. What's cool is if you look on here, broad for this one is between 30 cents and 82 cents. When it's exact, that means not as many people search for it. It's between 32 and 61. So it's going to cost you less. Why is that important? Well, that means not as many people search for it, so it is not as a prime, you know, sponsored ad listing to show up at the very, very top. But it is something that is going to cost you less because somebody may have been looking for that exact keyword, and they may find it with your book as well. Again, you may have written a Lord of the Rings type of book. They're searching for a Lord of the Rings book, but they see your cover and they go, "Ooh, wow!" And they click on that sponsored ad. They may buy your book instead. They may not, but you're showing up for people who have an interest in something very close to what you have. So let me see, are there any good epic fantasy dragon books? This is a good one for me. First, let me get that broad taken off. But I'm going to go through here and maybe add dragon books. I'll add that as a keyword. Now you can see it shows up here and it's going to be at 26 cents. You can change that. You can make that 41 cents. The other thing that you can do is add all of your own keywords. You don't have to just go with this listing that's over here. You know, because a lot of these are really not going to apply that well to you. So you can add your own keywords. So we'll just say, let's go with, I think my book is very similar in style to a Brandon Sanderson book. Mistborn is one of the books that I've read of his that really did sort of inspire my writing. We have a very similar writing style, which it's not exemplary literary prose, as many people have always commented, but it is very similar style. So if somebody's looking for Mistborn, I want Mistborn as a keyword. I want them to maybe see my book and go, "Oh, I want to check that out. That sounds like a good possibility." And so, you know, I may have Brandon Sanderson in here as well. So I'm going to add that. And again, I can change those keywords as I go along, or change the keyword bids to say, well, let's see, where is it between 51 and 85? If I'm at 41, this probably isn't going to work for me. You can test it, though, because they're kind of giving you information that is getting you to spend more. Always keep that in mind. They want you to spend more. All right, now let's say you do want to enter your own keywords, and you can do that, and I do suggest doing that. What you do is you click here. Again, this gives you the suggested keywords here, but you can go over here and click Enter List. That allows you to add your own keywords. This is important because I think you're going to know your book a lot better than Amazon does. So it's important for you to make a very specific keyword list, and so that it's something that when people look for, they hopefully will see your book. So the keyword list can be a thing of, you know, epic fantasy novel, epic fantasy book, high fantasy, dragon fantasy tale. You can see my list all the way down through here. Dark Lord fantasy, whatever. Sword and sorceries, fantasy adventure. And you can add these keywords. And so we'll just, don't worry, I'll go back in and fix this later. But you can add your own keywords. And then you can also choose between broad and phrase. You might even just try exact, or not broad and phrase, but between phrase and exact. And you might even just try exact, just starting out. And as you can see, there are, once you click add keywords, it adds them all down through here. It gives you the suggested bids. You can change those. And then so all of my books, or all my book keywords are now in here. That'll be part of my campaign. The other thing that you can do is that similar book search. If you look over here, for example, again, I've got names of books, I've got authors, and these are books that maybe are similar to mine, authors who have written books that are very similar for me for The Rise of the Dragon Witch. And I can add author names in there as well, because somebody may say, "Oh, I loved Tolkien," or "I loved Anne McCaffrey. I love George R.R. Martin books," and they may do a search for George R.R. Martin to see if there are any other books. Unfortunately, that final book may never come. But you can add author names as well, so that you've got a complete list of people and books that may be similar to what you have to offer. And see, you can see the Robert Jordan, Scott Lynch are in there as well. And you can go through and leave everything at 26 cents. You can go through and leave everything at 99 cents. And you may burn through a lot of money. But I think it's wise to start low, test it, and say, well, I'm not getting very many impressions. I'm not getting, I'm getting lots of clicks, but not a lot of people are clicking. The great thing is this campaign manager will show us what's working and what's not. Hey, you're getting 1,000 clicks on The Hobbit, but nobody's buying your books. Either take that down to 11 cents or 6 cents so that it doesn't show up as much. And if you do hopefully catch somebody in there, that's good. Or you can see, hey, this one is really working really well. Let's maybe spend a little more money on it. Let's boost that one up to 51 cents or 76 cents or something. Give it a try, because you may end up getting better conversions. But at least we'll go back through. I'll make another video and see how all of this works out. But I just sort of wanted to show you guys how to set up your ads campaign initially. So this is the first section of it. We've got our keyword targeting done. So we've got keywords of books. We've got keywords of authors. And the next thing that you can do are negative keywords. Now, what are negative keywords? Say somebody types in a Lord of the Rings map. Somebody wants a Lord of the Rings video. Somebody wants Lord of the Rings DVD. Somebody wants Red Rising character drawings. Whatever it is. Whatever you don't want people to look for, whatever you want to exclude from their search. So that maybe they're looking for a Mistborn picture book. Maybe they're looking for something that just doesn't apply to your book. They're not looking for a book like yours. They're looking for maybe a companion piece. Or maybe they're looking for an autobiography of Brandon Sanderson, or they're looking for his videos or something like that. But you want to try to take out all the keywords that people might search for in addition to your exact or phrase match keywords. So I always do like videos and maps and instructions, anything like that might not really apply to someone looking to buy a book. You're looking for people who are only wanting to buy a book from you because that's what you are offering. That's your product. So you want to exclude somebody who's not looking for a book, but they're looking for a movie. Take those out. Add those negative keywords in, and then that will exclude the people who are searching for something else. And again, you have to go through and say, what's this going to be about? What am I doing this for? And it's to get them to see your book as a sponsored ad and want to buy it. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually create the ad that they see. As you can see, my title shows up. It tells, my name, my author name. It's got my cover. It's even got that I've got 3 5-star reviews. So that's awesome. I waited to do this until I actually had some reviews so people would know, hey, this actually is a book worth taking a chance on. But what you want to know is, or what you want to do next is very, very important. You don't want to do anything other than briefly in almost one, maybe 2 sentences, say what your book is about. And I'm just going to do a really bad version. One thing that you don't want to do is put your character's name in here. Nobody cares about your character's name. They want a description that gives them an idea of what this is about. So I just have in here, young woman is thrown into a medieval world of myths and dragons. Is she ready to defeat an evil king? Find out now. Questions always help because it gets people to say, well, what is it about? Oh, it's about this. And then that you want to give that sort of call to action. Find out now. Discover how she solves the problem. Discover who the killer is. Give that call to action at the end. But just give, and this is a terrible description, custom text that I'm not going to use, but I just kind of wanted to show you real quick that you want to just throw them right into that. I know you hate blurbs. I know writing them is a big pain, but you want a sentence. You want 2 or 3 short words in each sentence. You want to just make it as marketable and copywriting friendly as possible. Tell them what it's about, and then the book cover will sell the rest of it for you. So yeah, just get them to go to your page, read the summary, read the blurb that you've got there, read the reviews, all of that kind of thing. but get them, pull them in now. And I've got medieval, I've got myths, I've got dragons, I've got evil king, defeat, strong, actionable words. Find out now, discover, learn. No, learn more is boring. Find out, discover is not as boring. Go on a quest, have some fun with it. Be original and be unique, but also just be as describing it as much as possible, basically. So as you can see, there's an ad right there, and it's done most of the work for you. It's got your cover, it's got your name, title, your author name, your reviews, and then your quick blurb. So that part of the campaign is done. The next thing that you want to do is choose the bidding strategy. Again, Amazon is going to go with what is best for Amazon, not for you. You want to go with fixed bids. And that means that dynamic bids was actually going to go and add to what you said. I want my 26 cents or my 51 cents or whatever it is. It was going to add to that and make you pay more. Now, it can work sometimes. If you actually have a great book, great cover, great title, great everything. I mean, it's in 3,000 5-star reviews. You might do this to make sure it ranks above everybody else all the time because you're going to get lots of sales. Or if you're trying to rank above a competitor that's just coming on and killing it, this is a good way to make sure you're one-upping them every time. But as indie authors, we don't have the budget to just throw thousands of dollars at things. So make sure you say, I want to choose my fixed bids and then adjust it myself. If I say, hey, I'm not getting any impressions on Brandon Sanderson, I'm going to adjust it a little bit higher, 41 cents, and then maybe I'll boost it up to 71 cents and then see if that works. But that's you in control. And yeah, you do got to go in once every couple of days to check this out. You don't want to let it run for a month without seeing what happened. You do have to actually be a marketer in this case. You are spending your money and you need to make sure you are on top of it so that something is not completely burning through your budget in a day. For the bid adjustments, this is again where you can raise your bid adjustment. You say, I might spend 10, 20, 30% for being above something else. Again, you don't necessarily have to do this. You can try this. But if you say I want to be 20% higher to be at the very top of the search. So when somebody does that, again, you're going to spend a lot of money. You don't necessarily want to be there on the rest of search because you're going to spend money for people who are looking for laundry detergent or, a car part. So, and the product page is when you're actually on the page of Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn novel. That's where you want to, maybe you want to try to check it out and say, yeah, I'll spend a little bit more money when I'm on that page. But, the top of search is, again, if somebody searches for Red Rising, you're going to see 18 books of different varieties of the Red Rising novel, hardback and Kindle and paperback, etc., and sequels and stuff like that. Whatever Amazon's going to show, that's the top of the search page. But that may be where you want to capture them. I don't know. You can test it. It might be better to get them before they go into the Red Rising book and get ready to make the purchase because they may not be looking at anything else. But just test it out. All you really can do is just spend a little more money and see if it works. But, again, it doesn't hurt anything to try and see what happens. So, again, I'm just throwing these on there. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's, you don't know till you know. You don't know until you've tried it out. So then all you're really doing at this point next is naming it. And all you're going to do here is make sure you're specific. Ebook for this example, and I'll say February because I may end up copying this if it doesn't work out and doing it again in March, but with different parameters. 2025, good idea to make sure because again, the last time I ran ads was 2021. So put in your day or your year or your month if you need to, or you may just say, I'm going to try this once and then never again. You can just say your book title. And then you're telling Amazon when you want to start. I want to start tomorrow because I don't get paid till tomorrow, for example. I don't know. I could start it today, but it's not ready. And then once you've got your daily budget, now this is where you're saying, here's how much I want to spend per day. Now, if you say I want to spend $10 a day, think about that. Every 30 days, that's $300. And that's a lot of money, or can be a lot of money for someone who maybe didn't spend $300 just to publish their entire book on their cover and their printing and the ISBNs and everything. So your daily budget might be $5, and that's okay. It might be $2. You might get 3 26-cent clicks, but it's a good way to test it. Don't burn through all of your money until you see how it's going to work. Don't take any chances, because this is expensive. But at least if you're doing it this way, setting it up this way, then at least you know that it's starting slow. We're testing. You're in control. Amazon is not in control. They're not going to burn through your $12 budget or your $10 budget or your $5 budget the first hour. And they will burn through your budget in the first hour, to get as much as they can, as fast as they can. So yeah, just take your time in setting this up. And if you have any questions, let me know. Just leave a message, maybe leave a comment on one of my posts or something, and we'll figure something out. Or actually, you can message me you can follow me on Instagram, and maybe just message me through Instagram. But that's pretty much all you're doing. The only thing I haven't done to launch this campaign is I need to go in and update my payment. I think I probably have a credit card or something that might be in there that expired, because the last thing I did was in 2021. Anyway, it's got to be updated. But otherwise, that's where you launch your campaign. To do that, if you haven't done this or set it up yet, you would go back to campaigns, and then you would go in and look under payment, and then that's where you would add your credit card and all those details. But that's how to set up a campaign. You're doing it as custom text. You're doing it as just that product search. And not the entire brand. You're doing custom text. You're choosing which books you want to use. You're doing manual targeting. You're doing keyword targeting. You are choosing as many as you can, your own keywords. If you do like their suggested keywords, that's okay. But fantasy, for example, is a terrible keyword. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible keyword. Fantasy you know what fantasy can mean, and it's not just books. So it's not a good one to choose. So be as specific as possible. I've got epic fantasy and I've got high fantasy in here. Even that's not very good. I might want epic fantasy books, epic fantasy novels. I might want best epic fantasy, top epic fantasy, because some people are like, what are the top epic fantasy books? What are the top, dragon books? What are the best dragon books? Be as specific as you want, because if nobody is searching for that day, that's okay. They weren't looking for your book anyway. They wouldn't have maybe chose it or clicked on it and bought it. That's okay. So make sure that you're just giving them the keywords that will help them, give you the most chance of selling a book and them the most chance of finding a book. This is how you set up your campaigns. This is the way to do it properly, so that you're not spending money and you're only spending money on books for people who may actually want the kind of book you've written. Don't forget those negative keywords. Write good ads. It's very important to have a good, strong ad that's going to pull them away from that Red Rising book or that Mistborn book. What's going to drag them in? You might even say, Mistborn fan, Sanderson fan, come check out my dragon book. And you never know. I mean, you can test it. It's up to you. Make sure you do the fixed bids. And if you test the boosting the bids, don't do too much. Just try it out. Or just leave it alone and then go back to it and see. You can go back to this and change this once you've already got the campaign up and running. It's okay. You can change your bids as it's running. You can change your daily budget as it's running. You can expand it if it's working. Or if it's not working, you can pull back. And then that's all you do. You just launch your campaign. That is the best way to set up your Amazon ads. I am a professional marketer, but if you do something wrong, it's not my fault, basically. That's my disclaimer. And again, this is just trying to help you out. This is really for informational education or informational purposes, not educational, so that I'm not liable in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. I'll probably wouldn't matter in lawyer speak anyway. But again, just trying to help you guys out. Hope this helps. Thanks, and share it if you have any other. I see any other I can talk. If you see any other authors who might want to learn a little bit more about this, I'll have this link on my website, timothykclark.com. Take care.